Road trips are therapy for enthusiasts, but when it comes to hitting the road for a cause, a road trip can also be soul-soothing. Now, when it comes to road trips, I am a regular, but this time I'm hitting the road in India's most fuel-efficient SUV, the Maruti Suzuki Grand Vitara Hybrid. And that's because with its 45-litre fuel tank and an ARAI-certified efficiency of 27.97 kilometers per litre, this SUV is capable of covering more than 1,200 kilometers on a single tank of petrol. But where am I headed? We'll get to that in just a bit. The plan is to head west from Gurugram in the Delhi NCR and drive across Rajasthan to one of the westernmost points of the country on a single tank of petrol. As a strong hybrid SUV, the Grand Vitara's excellent fuel efficiency bears testimony to Maruti Suzuki's engineering prowess and is also a nod to its commitment to a greener future. As I tanked up outside Gurugram, I could not help but think as to how strong hybrid powertrains like the one under the Grand Vitara's hood are also helping in curbing vehicular pollution. And once I hit the highway, I found myself munching miles with ease. And before I realized it, I had crossed over into Rajasthan from Haryana thanks to the Grand Vitara's silent and plush road manners besides the smooth tarmac I was driving on. I'm also seeing a change in the topography as I drive further into Rajasthan. So lush green fields have made way for a countryside where the greenery is sparser. But one thing that's not changed is the distance to empty readout in the Grand Vitara, and that's despite me driving for over 200 kilometers already. The Grand Vitara was returning around 26 kilometers per litre, which is almost too good to be true. But that's the beauty of strong hybrid powertrains, as they ensure the engine is merely sipping fuel and only when needed, and that's because it's the electric motor that powers the wheels, receiving energy from the lithium-ion battery pack on board. This means the 1.5-litre petrol engine in the Grand Vitara only acts as a supplementary power source and provides additional boost or helps in recharging the battery pack, which is a big reason behind the Grand Vitara's excellent fuel efficiency. And that's why strong hybrid SUVs like the Grand Vitara are a perfect solution for an automobile market like ours, given their ultra-efficient powertrains and as a result, the strong focus on sustainability, because not only is the Grand Vitara India's most fuel-efficient SUV, it's also an SUV with one of the lowest tailpipe emissions per kilometer. There's a lot more to the Grand Vitara than just its ultra-efficient powertrain though, as the SUV is equipped with a long list of features that were enhancing my driving experience. The list includes segment first, like a head-up display, besides the largest in-class panoramic sunroof, a premium surround sound system by Clarion, a tire pressure monitoring system, a PM 2.5 air filter, ventilated front seats, and also a large 9-inch touchscreen. The Grand Vitara's Smart Play Pro Plus infotainment system deserves a special mention too, as it offers Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity wirelessly and has an interface that's very informative and easy to use on the go. And as I cut across Rajasthan and head west towards the city of Jaisalmer, I'm also getting a chance to drive on one of India's newest expressways. This is the one that connects Jamnagar in Gujarat to Amritsar in Punjab, and this is one of India's longest expressways. But more importantly, this is a highway that's giving me a chance to experience the abilities of the Grand Vitara Strong Hybrid when it comes to munching miles, because this is an access-controlled 6-lane expressway with a speed limit of 100 kilometers per hour. With cruise control set to 100 kilometers per hour, the strong hybrid powertrain was working at its optimum best. This while the plush seats were ensuring I was perfectly comfortable despite long hours of driving. The Grand Vitara's well-tuned suspension was helping me too, as the SUV was perfectly stable even at triple-digit speeds, besides which undulations on the road were also getting soaked up very well. I've just crossed the 500-kilometer mark on the trip meter, and any other SUV would have had me looking for a fuel station by now, but that's not the case with the Grand Vitara because being a strong hybrid, it is turning out to be ultra fuel efficient. I still have more than half a tank of fuel left, and that should be good to have me drive at least another 500 to 600 kilometers more. I soon found myself approaching Jaisalmer, a city that needs no introduction for its sand dunes, deserts and extreme weather, as temperatures in Jaisalmer can cross the 50 degrees Celsius mark during summers. But Jaisalmer was not my final destination on this trip, and I had some more distance to go beyond the city, around 40 kilometers to be precise. More importantly, tank range, despite me having driven for about 750 kilometers already, was still around 430 kilometers, which was unbelievable. And it's now time to reveal our final destination on this road trip, which is the Rajkumari Ratnavati Girls School, which lies 40 kilometers west of Jaisalmer, and that's where we are heading right now. And in case you're wondering why am I driving to a girls' school in one of the remotest corners of the country, that's because the Rajkumari Ratnavati Girls School is unlike any other school in the country because it was built for a cause and has sustainability at its core. A big highlight about the Rajkumari Ratnavati Girls School is that it is India's most energy efficient school, to say so. The school is also a ray of hope for women's education and empowerment in a region as remote as the border areas of Rajasthan, where female literacy is as low as 32% as per statistics. And apart from educating young girls, the school is also helping local women, especially mothers of the girls who study at the school, to become self-dependent and earn a livelihood. We are now approaching the school, and the trip meter in the Grand Vitara tells me I've done nearly 800 kilometers since I tanked up in Gurugram. But what's also worth noting is that over the last 40 kilometers or so since we left Jaisalmer, the distance to empty readout has not gone down. I still have just a little over 300 kilometers left on the range, and this is phenomenal. The school is literally in the middle of nowhere, and the last couple of kilometers had me negotiate an off-road section as the tarmac had ended. But thanks to its impressive ground clearance of 210mm and also the excellent torque delivery at slow speeds, given the combination of the electric motor and petrol engine powering it, the Grand Vitara ensured I had no trouble even on gravel and sand. As I reached the school, finally, I was beaming with pride and also grinning wide. That's because the trip meter told me I had driven 787 kilometers, but the fuel gauge was still just under half. So driving to the school all the way from Gurugram had me use far lesser than one full tank of petrol, which is phenomenal. So this is it. This is the Rajkumari Ratnavati Girls School, and being here feels amazing. There's a classroom in session right now, so I need to be a little quiet, but I cannot even begin to describe how excited I am to be here. students are not charged any fees, and in fact, the school's coordinators travel to nearby villages to meet families and convince parents to send their daughters to the school for education. The school also provides midday meals to the girls studying at the school, again, without any charges whatsoever.
The school is run by SITA India, which is a non-profit organization and the one that's made it all happen here. And that's besides the fact that the school is also backed by the royal family of Jaisalmer, and that's the reason why the school has been named after the royal princess. But more importantly, the school building has been designed by renowned American architect Diana Kellogg, but pro bono. In fact, there's a long list of people and organizations who have provided help for the school in numerous ways, but without charging any fees.
For example, the uniforms worn by the students have been designed by fashion designer Sabyasachi Mukherjee using Ajrak, a local block printing art, while another non-profit organization takes care of the midday meals, all as a noble gesture to promote women's education in this remote region.
What's also worth noting is that the building has been made using locally sourced yellow limestone, which is known for its cooling effect in summers, and the architecture is such that there is no need for air conditioning even when the outside temperature is 50 degrees Celsius, and that was important because Jaisalmer is one of the hottest places in India.
The school's architecture is thus a case study in itself, as it could pave the way for better, more eco-friendly architecture for building homes in hot and arid areas like Rajasthan. What's also worth noting is that besides its advantages in terms of sustainability and cooling, the school building is oval in shape and is meant to represent the shape of a mother's womb, which is very thoughtful and touching.
Besides its architecture and the use of locally sourced and eco-friendly and recycled materials, the school building also employs rainwater harvesting, and there's a really large tank underneath the building, and this ensures there is no scarcity of water here. Of course, this is important considering the fact that the school is far away from civilization, in the middle of nowhere and in the middle of a desert to say so. And that's besides the use of these solar panels that you see behind me, and these help in ensuring that the school is self-sustaining in terms of its energy needs, again important considering that power cuts are frequent in remote areas like these.
The school also provides naturally cooled and filtered drinking water to students without them having to rely on external water sources. I also got a chance to see some of the handicraft items prepared by local women, besides which the women are provided a dedicated working space at the premises itself. This initiative has further helped in convincing women and their families to send their daughters to school, as while the girls get educated, the mothers are able to support their families. Come to think of it, the Rajkumari Ratnavati Girls School is sure to contribute to the development of the remote region it is located in for generations to come. This while ensuring its architecture supports and promotes energy conservation and sustainability unlike any other school.
To draw parallels, the Maruti Suzuki Grand Vitara that's brought me here is India's most fuel-efficient SUV like I mentioned, and in a lot of ways, this SUV is the need of the hour and a brilliant solution for a market like ours, given its advantages.
The very fact that I had managed to drive to the school all the way from Gurugram, which is a distance of nearly 800 kilometers without needing to refuel, also made for a sense of achievement for me. So driving all the way to the far edge of the nation, taking some of the best driving roads possible, and then spending a day at the school had turned out to be a memorable experience indeed.
And with that, it's time for me to head back. But I leave the Rajkumari Ratnavati Girls School with a lifetime of memories, especially as a father to a 9-year-old girl. And that's because this is a school that's unlike any other, and the Maruti Suzuki Grand Vitara that's brought me here has ensured that this is a road trip unlike any other for me.